What's up, fidget spinners? I'm back in Cardiff for uni, and the other day I saw Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and I'm only going to review it, although I also will be reviewing the first one, kind of this is a review for both, because I only saw the first one for the first time about 4 hours before I saw the second one, so they kind of merged a little bit in my mind, but mainly a review for the second one, also the first one. Yeah, I thought they were both really good. I enjoyed them both a lot. The first one better than the second one, but still both great. Thanks for watching. I'm kidding, I've got more details that I've written down here. One of the best things about them, apart from maybe the comedy, which is very funny, are the fight scenes. A lot of fight scenes these days, I'm looking mainly at like this Marvel and stuff like that. The fight scenes, there's like loads of cuts, and it's often hard to tell quite what's going on because they're cutting about all over the place. In the Kingsman films, however, the fight scenes are very fluid, and there are very few, if any, cuts actually. I only really noticed this on one of the last fight scenes. I was like, wait, are there any cuts? And I watched, and it was panning around, and I don't know if I noticed any. So I don't know if all the fight scenes were like that, but that's very good. It's probably harder to pull off, but it gives you a much better sense of, where all the characters are in the scene and what's going on. I liked that. That's for both of them. They both did that well. A lot of films, most films even, are American and thus are set in America. So it's very nice and refreshing to get a film set at home in Britain, which is nice. You got that British charm because they're all upper class and very posh, apart from the main character. But the contrast is nice. So that was why I was a little miffed in the second one, where the plot moved to America. But it won me over. It had the contrast between the two cultures. They won me over in the. Don't want to do too many spoilers really, but there was a scene where one of the characters is fighting with a whip. That was very cool. I liked that. So I'll give it a pass. The main character, Eggsy, is great. I thought it was fantastic to watch. It's easy to root for him. And in fact, actually, all the characters are enjoyable to watch. I don't think anyone really got on my nerves or anything. It was good. It was a good cast, good characters, good. In regards to the villains, Samuel L. Jackson's villain was very fun to watch, very enjoyable. Whereas in the second one, whereas the villain of the second one, Julianne Moore, was more villainous, more like cold and scary. I mean, whereas both villains, the plot was globally catastrophic, Julianne Moore's was more scary, Samuel L. Jackson's was more comedic, more fun. So I don't know if I would say either was better. I thought Colin Firth was great, but in the second one, I don't know, he seemed to be phoning it in a little bit with his acting. I'm not sure if that was. I wasn't sure if that was kind of how his character was in that one, because his character is different in the second one. So I'm not sure if that was just like how he was acting, or if he didn't care so much. But to be honest, it kind of worked. I don't want to talk too much smack, like I can't act. And he was great in the first one, so I think he probably was meant to do that. Elton John was in the second one. I thought he was fantastic. He was great in it. Very fun to watch. As himself, even, he played himself. Is there anything else? It's been a while since I watched it. I wrote all these notes down once I'd come back, but I can't. So that this is. I feel like this video isn't flowing very well. It's just because I'm kind of reading it off a list. Oh, one thing I do think is great about these films is they have no qualms about killing anyone off. So that raises the stakes, because any of the characters could die at any time. You don't know who's gonna be killed, and that makes it more exciting when there is actual frequent death on the line. It did make me cry a little bit, just a little bit, but I don't think it's too hard to make me cry in the cinema these days. If it's up on a big screen, you can just get a little bit emotional. I'll probably tear up a little. I'll tell you at what point I cried, but at the end, because it's a bit of a spoiler. But overall, I will give Kingsman, both films, The Secret Service and The Golden Circle, a praise it, with a notation that first one is slightly better. Thanks for watching. I recommend these films if you haven't seen them already. The second one's still in the cinemas, I think, so get out there and see it. But see the first one first, because otherwise you won't know what's going on. And see you in my next review. I don't know what it'll be. I haven't reviewed anything for ages. Bye. Oh yeah, and the scene I did quite a little bit in is where Eggsy gives Galahad a puppy, and he gets his memories back. That was a little bit emotional, and he's all like, "Oh, I wouldn't kill the doggy," and he's like, "Oh wait, I remember." Oh, but okay, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye. When I watch a movie, I don't watch or read reviews of that movie beforehand, especially if I'm going to be reviewing that movie myself, as I do with all new movies I see these days, so that I can allow myself to form my own opinion that isn't swayed by anyone else's opinion. I can get my views out in the review. That's what I think. It's not what anyone else thinks, and that's what I did. I did the same with this movie, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So, what you just watched was my straight, unadulterated views on that movie. That is what I thought after coming out of that movie. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Then after filming that, and before editing and uploading it, then I did go and watch some reviews. And that's why I'm able to add this at the end now. I watched reviews from 3 people I respect the opinions of in the film world: Chris Stuckman, Jack Howard, and Mr. Sunday Movies. And I'll link their reviews below. I'm not going to go into what they said about the film. You can watch for yourself. But their opinions did alter my opinion. Because I really enjoyed the film, but they all thought it was very disappointing compared to the first one, which they all agreed was great. Everyone loves the first one. But they thought the second one was a misstep. It missed the mark. And in their videos, and in Mr. Sunday's case, his podcast with Nick Mason, who was very brutal on the film, they all make decent, solid, good points about why the film was disappointing and why it wasn't as good, and I found myself agreeing with them, and yeah, it affected my opinion. And as such, I don't think the film is as good as I thought it was when I just first came out of the cinema. And I'm not sure what I think about that, because it's taken something that I enjoyed, and now if I were to watch it again, I wouldn't enjoy it as much, whereas if I hadn't gone and watched those reviews, I probably would have. But on the other hand, I feel like, because they're like film buffs, their opinions are more correct than... No, I don't want to... Because they're opinions, and film is subjective, and, you know, you like what you like, but they know more than me about film. So, if they don't like something unanimously, is that thing not very good? No, obviously the answer is no. Or is it? I noticed the same thing when I went to see the film Passengers last year, starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I came out of that thinking, yeah, that was a decent film. It was good, a nice little sci-fi rom-com. And then I filmed my review saying, and then I watched other people's reviews and read other people's reviews, and I agreed with them that actually the big reveal that happens to one of the characters should also be a big reveal to the audience, and it would be a much better film that way. As it stands, it's decent, but it could be much better. And I watched those reviews, and I was like, yeah, actually, that's true. And now, if I were to watch it again, I would be like, yeah, this could be better. And I don't know what to think. So if someone likes a movie that most people think is bad, but they get enjoyment from it, is it okay to present them with why you think it's a bad movie in order to change their opinion of it? I've done this. I was in a car with some friends this summer, and one of them mentioned to me that he loved Suicide Squad, and I hated Suicide. I think when I first, there's another, not so extreme, but another example of this phenomenon. I wasn't too keen on it in the cinema, and then my opinion got worse on it as time went on. But he mentioned to me that he loved it, and then for the next 20 minutes or so, I relentlessly bombarded him with reasons why I didn't like it, and he was like, actually, yeah, I agree with all these things. And now he probably won't enjoy it as much. And is that a good thing or not? Because if a movie is bad, do I want to be seen as someone who likes it? Or do I want to go with the majority and seem more educated in film? I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. It's just something I've observed. I want the moral to be, form your own opinions of film, but I'm observing the opposite. I formed my own opinion, and then I watched other people's opinions and they changed mine. And I will continue to watch other people's reviews after I've reviewed films. Frankly, I feel like I'm learning more about film. Watching film buffs talk about film. Said film way too many times there. But I feel like I'm progressing in my opinions when I say it. Or am I just conforming to the norm opinion? Are they just conditioning me to think the same as everyone else in terms of film? You know, is film completely subjective? Or is there a criteria for what a good movie is? You know, yes and yes. It's all, I don't know, I'm very confused about this. Sound off in the comments, please. I would love to continue this conversation. What do you think? Sorry this was a bit incoherent. I just kind of had a load of thoughts that I wanted to get out about this. But I am going to go and retroactively change Kingsman the Golden Circle's grade from a praise it to a graze it. And that kind of, I don't like that I've done that, but now that my opinion has changed due to other people, I don't think that film does deserve a praise it anymore. And I feel kind of dirty allowing my review to be affected like that. But there you go. Sorry. I don't know, I feel like I should apologise after this. I am sorry. But, yeah, so I'll see you in my next review, where hopefully I won't have a moral dilemma on my hands. Thanks for watching.